Hey, it's Biddy Penny. Welcome back to my channel. You guys, I am so far behind on sharing my happy mail with you, but this was from June and I absolutely love this card. It is so beautiful and look how simple, but just beautiful, and all the matting layers. I'm totally going to case that card today. And then, so that was from my friend Eileen. And then this is from Mary S. And I absolutely loved this package. You guys have already seen me play with some of it, but I wanted to case this for you guys today. So I'm going to show you 3 different ways to make this little book, which holds a gift card and is adorable. It has notebook paper in it, and I just loved it. I have made a different version of this before, but we're totally going to case Mary's notebook here today. And I'm going to show you some different construction and ways to make it. All right, so this is the handmade card she did. And look at this, it's gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. I love that. With a sweet message inside. And look at this. Mary can do it all. She's awesome. She has a Instagram page. I will try to remember to leave that linked down below so you can go check her out. But she likes to do like ATC cards. Look at these. These are bookmarks. That's what I call them, but they're like really fancy paper clips. Let me show you how they work. Oh, these are my absolute favorite bookmarks of all time, by the way, because they don't slip out. I just love them. It's been probably a year or two since I've made any of these. Since I did craft fairs, these used to, if you do craft fairs, these are great sellers. I'm going to show you how to package them up today and everything, just the way she did. And they make just great gifts, great teacher gifts, great gifts for a Bible study group, you know, for everyone. And look at this. I just love this so much. And guys, it's just a piece of cardboard. Like, you don't have to have really expensive materials to make awesome things. And she sent me all this ephemera. Mary, thank you. But you didn't have to do that. But I'm going to use it. I'm going to use some of it today in this video. So all of this adorableness, I love that fabric embellishment with the rolled roses. So cool. Y'all already see me. It's time to cue the mushroom box here to contain all those goodies. This is her painted papers. I love that I can see her fingerprints in them. And this is really cool, like the white detail around the bubbles. And these, I love the edges she left, like the natural border. Just so much coolness. Absolutely love. Sorry, I'm in my craft room crashing into things, you guys. Trying to get some water to wet my whistle. All right. Let's get into this. So with Eileen's card, you know, she just used gorgeous paper. And beautiful cards can just be made with one simple sheet of gorgeous paper. So that's what we're going to focus on today. This Mente paper, I fall for it every single time they release it. But I'll be honest, I don't always know what to do with it because I just like it exactly how it is. And it's hard to cut into it. It's hard to cut anything away from it or cover anything up for me. But I do have some videos on my channel where I have worked with their paper pads. You'll have to go way back, but they're in there. And so what I loved is that it's just one beautiful sheet of paper. And my husband's being goofy in the other room. So if you hear strange noises, he thinks I can't hear him. And he definitely knows that you can't hear him. He definitely doesn't know that you can hear him. That's what I'm trying to say. So anyways, what I thought was spectacular about this card is one, well, the paper and the overall appeal of the card is just beautiful. And I love how she just kept matting the layers. So she has like 3 mats behind this beautiful paper and the twine. Now, spoiler alert, the twine's not going to work for me today, only because of the way this paper is designed. I didn't want to cover up the swing that's in the trees. But I just absolutely loved all the matting layers. And it's so basic, but I never thought of that. I've been card making for 5 years and I never thought, just keep adding layers behind. Just keep matting the pretty papers. So I really like the way this card turned out. I sent this to Eileen actually, so she has it now. I did, since I couldn't do the twine, I did go ahead and embellish it with some honeybee gems. I absolutely love their tiny gems. They just add such a nice touch. All right, let's move on to these paper clips. By the way, if you're ever interested in 100,000 different ways to make fun paper clips, and you haven't heard of Lollipalooza paper crafting here on YouTube, yeah, she's like paperclip obsessed and has a whole channel about it. She makes some other things too, but you'll never run out of ideas hanging out with her. So if this is something that piques your interest, maybe you've never seen it before, you definitely should check out her channel. Now, I just use scraps. So everything here is just scraps. And I cut them down to, I don't know, I'd say 2 by 6. So these are roughly like 2 by 3, but they can be any length. You can make them a traditional bookmark length. You can do anything you want with your paper, in case you didn't know. All right, so as you can tell, at the 3-inch mark, I folded these. Then I put a paper clip over. Now I put the tiny part of the paper clip on the inside because I'm not gonna lie, that's ripped my books before. So I like the big chunky side of the paper clip on the exterior and this small side on the inside, and that way it's less likely to damage your book when you clip it on. These paper clips are extra fancy. They're from the Dollar Tree, and they have silver ones and colored ones. So that's where I source my paper clips. Now let's use up some of this ephemera, and I am just really just pulling in scraps here. So I have like a 10-pound box right now of scraps that I'm trying to process, and I was going to do one big video for you guys. I've done that before on my channel, but I'm not there yet. So I'm just processing little by little with projects like this. So in the past, as I decorate, I'm just going to chat because you've been here. So in the past, these have been fantastic sellers at the craft fairs I've done. People just love them. I package them 2 to a package, sell them for like $3 or $4, call it a day. And they're just super cute. You can do different themes. You could do holidays. You could do, faith-based ones. If you had Bible study friends, just the sky's the limit. You can do anything. So here is my first one. And I did add some stickles. And now I'm busting out more scraps here. And these are kind of like, once you get rolling, it's hard to stop. Just think of it as a mini card front, if you will. But you're making it in paperclip and bookmark form. So, yeah, I think sometimes as card makers, we kind of pigeonhole ourselves into just making cards. But in paper crafting, it's like, you just reimagine the size of your canvas and what the functionality is. So these are tiny cards, and the functionality is that they're a bookmark instead of a card. So here she had used some tissue paper, and I wanted to use some too. now I decided to staple mine together like this and kind of fan it out. It almost looks like an adorable bow. I'm going to have to remember that one. And then I decide to back this piece of ephemera on a really heavyweight cardstock. That way I know it'll be sturdy. So for something like this, where people will be taking it in and out of their books, you probably do want to think about the longevity of it. And, you know, you probably want to keep it pretty flat and strong. So this is how she had mine packaged. So she just cut a slit in a really cute piece of paper and she stamped the back of it. So now I'm just grabbing, I keep all these plastic bags, you guys. I buy some brand new, but I also just keep everything that comes in this craft room. If you could see my craft room, you would know I'm not lying. So I just measured it to see what size it was and cut a piece of paper down to match. And then I love this little teeny tiny Fun Stamper's Journey cutting pad. I use it all the time. So I cut it down and rounded the corners. I put a slit in the middle. Now I'm going to stamp my stamp on this very scrap piece of paper because it's not going to show up on the back of that wild paper. So I just put it on this paper. And then I'll clean it up and glue it down on the back of here. So you want to make sure not to cover up your slit that you're putting your stuff on, that you're going to clip your bookmark on. All right, so then you just clip one on the bottom and clip another one right on top. Bam, packaging done. So easy. And guys, once you do, like, you know, put these in the bag, they are just super, super cute. So Mary, thank you for inspiring me to do those again. It's been a while, and now I have to say I have about 15 of them. I made a lot off camera. Okay, so let's make this book. I measured her book out. Her book, I think it was like 3 by 9. I'm going to take this 12 by 12 sheet of paper. So I've been working through this kit. This is not the latest Echo Park kit, but the one before last. And I'm trying to work through it. I don't mind having it around because this is like my paper. So I'm cutting this to 10 inches after I cut off the branding strip. And now I'm going to cut it down to 4. So basically from one 12 by 12 sheet of paper, you could get 3 of these books. Yay. Now, I'm going to score it at 1 inch, and over from the 10-inch side, I'm going to score it to 4.5 inches over. So this way, I have a 1-inch flap to go over. I hope that made sense. Anyways, so yeah, I'm bringing back my Dollar Tree fabric, and I just thought it matched this paper collection beautifully. I'm really not measuring anything here. I'm just making little scraps of paper like of fabric like she did to go at the top of my little booklets. So we're going to make 3 of these today, and I'm going to show you different ways to construct this. So Sweet Mary stitched hers with a sewing machine. So I'll do that too. I love sewing paper. In fact, once I started sewing paper, I kind of don't sew anything else except for when COVID first started. I made like 30 masks for our whole family and extended family. But yeah, I don't really sew unless I'm sewing paper projects anymore or junk journals. But not everyone sews. Not everyone's comfortable with using their sewing machine in that way. And so I'm going to show you different ways without a sewing machine. All right, so I've got this scrap, and I'm going to cut this down for my pockets. Now you can make your pocket any size. In fact, I'm not even going to tell you what size this is. 1, because I don't remember, and 2, because it doesn't matter. You just make it the size you want it. So roughly, you know, each panel here is 4 by 4.5. So when you cut your paper, keep that in mind. When you cut your pockets, keep that in mind. You just want to make sure things don't go over your crease and fold lines, or else your book is going to not fold right. Aside from that, you can make things your favorite sizes. So for this one, I stitched it in. Now I'm really going to speed things up here because you've got places to be, I understand. And I'm just going to go with a quick construction. Now, obviously, I kind of changed things up on this one. I put the band on the side, and here I'm putting my pocket on the side as well. Now, she had a note inside that it would hold a gift card, and this size does. And I'm just bringing in more scraps and more ephemera and these puffy stickers that I didn't use in my kit yet. I'm showing you the gift card definitely fits. And then she also made tags. So I'm bringing in some scrap paper. These tags are 2 inches by 3 inches. And yeah, so we're just going to make up some tags to stick in these books. You can tell I'm just doing, cutting off one end, flipping it over, and then doing the other. I was going to punch a hole in mine, and then I just decided, nah, I'm going to staple some fabric at the top. So that's how I made this one. And now let's work on a cover. This is the only cover I'm going to show you guys, just because, again, I know you've got places to be. So for this cover, I actually showed you one that was, I thought, maybe the more detailed, because some of them I just put the adorable chipboard on it and called it a day. But this one, I pulled in a piece from the frames and tags ephemera, and I'm kind of playing around here until I find the piece I really want, which is this one. And then I grab some of this floss from my stash. Now this is the big ball of yellow floss that I'm trying to just use up since it'll never be saved. It'll never be untangled, so just use it all up. Okay, now you can measure and you can tie these together however you want. I played with a couple of different things, like with a really long string that you would wrap around the book, but I'm pretty sure that would drive most people crazy, so I ended up shortening it. This part of the tag popped out, and so I backed it again with a really thick paper and then popped it up. I even ink blended around it, so, you know, trying to make it stand out a little. I was playing with some different ideas here, but I just decided to keep it simple. And I'm just going to glue all of this down. Now, because someone might put this like in their purse and have it on the go, when I go to glue things like on a book like this, I get kind of excessive with my edges and corners so things don't catch and tear up on them, because that would be a sad moment. I don't want them to have a sad moment. And I want to show you, I'm just using double-sided tape to tape down this fabric, and it will hold for a very long time. And I just did that to add an extra layer. And here is where I'm kind of deciding how long I want my string to be. Gluing down my chipboard piece, and our construction is good. We'll just wrap it around, tie it up, and look at this bundle of cuteness. So adorable. So for a craft fair, I would probably put 3 of these in a pack and sell them for $10. I try to keep things simple, and I try to give people multiples if I can. So you just feel like you're getting more, I think. I think it all depends on your crowd and what you're selling, but 3 of these for $10 or even less, 3 for 7, whatever your crowd, whatever you think they'll pay. I mean, they're pretty quick to make. They have about 10 of these sheets of paper in them, so it's like a 20-page little notebook. But it is all handmade and super adorable. So for this one, I stapled it. And I didn't staple it to the base because I didn't want the staples on the back side of the paper. But I did cover them with a scrap piece and then glued that to my book. And the other one I paper clipped. So here are the inspiration and make. So here these are all packaged up. And I'm telling you guys, these things sell. They really do. People love these. So it's just something different. You know, you don't, if you're going to give these to someone, there's, I think, a very slim chance that somebody else is going to give them the same thing. Your gift will stand out. Okay, and then here's Mary's notebook, and here's the variety of notebooks that we made. So we made one with a string closure, and this one's stitched with a tag. Then I think these paper clipped ones, this would be my mom's favorite because she could pull the pages out and paper clip it shut. She can't stand it when I make a journal that has to be tied. It drives her nuts. So that would be my mom's favorite. This one's paper clip shut but stapled, clean on the back. So I'm sure that you guys can come up with about 50 other ways to make these, but this is a jumping off point. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you next time. Bye.